I thought I would take some time this week. We'll do some. I thought I would take some time this week to do some critiques of the assaults that we viewed last week. We'll just do screenshots here. This scenario 1, it is blurry because the surveillance footage is so far away, I believe. Now, this woman obviously is in one of those spaces where you're most likely to encounter someone who is either going to try to steal your money or for some reason attack you for whatever reason. This could be domestic. I don't know exactly what this is, but as far as I know, it is someone that she does not know. At the end of every clip I put, what is it that she did wrong? That's just a general statement. I'm not saying that anybody necessarily did anything wrong, but I think we can point out several things here that were not right and led to her becoming injured. And she did receive quite a few blows and did go down to the pavement. Oh, she's got her shopping cart and her purchases. She's in the middle of the parking lot. She's attacked. This fella comes out from the left, grabs her by the arms. She does create some distance and tries to get away. She goes, I think she takes a blow there. Now, I'm not sure what's going on there. Look, what did she do wrong? Why is she following him? Apparently, he does have her valuables. And this is a very foolish thing for her to do. Never, ever try to retrieve your valuables. It is not worth your life. Or I believe she had some children with her. And obviously, that is not something that you want to expose your children to, her taking a beating. No doubt it traumatized those children terribly. And there she is. I think there's a child. It's a little hard to make out, and she does go down. I think she took a blow. How much different would the outcome have been if she'd had some sort of self-defense device? I'm not talking about firearms, although I understand that many people choose that option, and that is something that you have to weigh very, very carefully and heavily, whether you decide you want to carry a firearm. We will go into non-lethal self-defense devices later. Everyone should carry some type of device that enhances your ability to overcome an attacker, no matter how big or maybe even how many. Whether it's pepper spray or some other device. Let's go to the next scenario. This woman is being followed and she doesn't know it. I'll stop it there. I think in this case, obviously it's hard to watch everybody in the rear view mirror. If you think you're being followed, maybe continue not home, but maybe around a block or two, and just see if they stay with you. If that is the case, you get on your phone while you're in motion. Do not stop while you're in motion and call the authorities. Or go to the police station. If there's not one really close, I'm talking 5 or 10 miles, then I would pull into a well-lit area where there are a bunch of people and maybe stop and see if the person goes on. More than likely, they will probably go on because they don't want witnesses. So that's my take on this situation. Let it play out. Car comes up. He gets out. She has, looks like a child. There's a couple people there. He knocks her down, and then I assume he grabbed her keys, and away she goes. That is a difficult one. Again, how aware was she of her surroundings when she got out of the car? And this is not bordering on paranoia. If it's nighttime and you are getting out of your car in perhaps a place that's not well lit, I would suggest that you look around and see if there's anyone standing around or driving up on you. And then just get back in your car and take that extra time. If the person stops and stays stopped and you can still get out, I would restart my car and stay on the move and do what I said. Call the authorities. Let's go to the next one. I don't know many details on this. I believe this is a woman. She looks, yeah, it's a shorter. And he goes for her, looks like her handbag was hanging down. Again, how aware was she of her surroundings? It does look like a well-lit place, which is good. But again, she's walking alone at night. In a place known for these type of activities, then you should try to take somebody with you. Again, the force enhancer, she should have her hand on some sort of device. I mean, he came up behind her and ran up on her. Again, how aware was she of her surroundings? Did she check to see before she got out of her car if there was anybody hanging around? I'm not going to say stand here or sit here and say that's going to work every time, because so I could be hiding. But again, if you can create some space, which she had plenty, but I don't think she was aware of what was going on. Hopefully she was not talking on the phone, and heaven forbid that she would have some kind of earbuds in and was listening to something. I do not know that. Let's go on to the next one, which is a little clearer, and it is very, very frightening. This lady looks like she's arriving home. All of a sudden, this fella comes in with a handgun, gives her a push. Obviously, he's after her valuables. He's trying to get the valuables. No, I don't think he did. Oh, he comes back. There, I think some blows. Okay, what is it that she could have done better there? Again, I don't know all the particulars. Obviously, she was surprised. I would suggest this. Did she see any cars standing that weren't parked? They were standing in the lane. Was she aware of that? Again, she is alone. It looks like nighttime, and probably in a larger urban area where these type of things occur a lot. If you know you live in a place that this type of activity goes on, you had better be prepared. It was a surprise attack, but again, did she have her hand on some type of device? She looks like she could have had time to use it. However, he's got a gun pointed in her face. What are you going to do? She goes down. Obviously, the picture does not extend down to exactly what's going on. I see her hands there. I think at this point I would have gone into more of a fetal position with my hands and arms over my face and my legs up, or my knees up toward my knees, and perhaps try to push him away. However, remember this: once you implement violence, especially against someone with a gun, there is probably more of a chance that they will return the violence. So there's no going back. There's a possibility if she knew that he was after her valuables, then I think as soon as I turned around and saw him coming with a gun, I would have done my best to toss them out and get them away from me. Perhaps he would have just retreated, grabbed the valuables, and took off. All right. All right, we're going to take some time to critique my exiting and entering the car at Walmart. Again, I cannot emphasize enough, once you are in a space and stopped, you can't, if you cannot see around you, who's around you, what's going on around you, stay off your phone, especially if you're in a high crime area. I've parked where there is plenty of room to see. Park corrals. Notice I leave my doors are locked, so I'm going to turn the motor off. Okay, doors are locked. That's just a no-brainer. And I've already looked around me just to see who is where, or if there's anyone about. I was messaged and someone said, and I was not aware, I've heard of scanners for gas pumps and bank teller machines, but I guess I was informed that they do have a scanner that they can, if you use your fob to lock your doors, if they're close enough, I guess they can retrieve that and unlock your doors. With that being said, then I think the thing to do would be to manually lock your doors. You especially want to look out for vans that maybe have... Okay, the van thing, it goes way back. Especially, and I did write it in, a van that has a sliding side door that might be facing you. Never walk by one of them. Again, there could be someone working in there and the door could slide open and they could pull you in before you even have a chance to react. I have my hand on my self-defense device. All right, that day my device was my key fob siren. It's 130 decibels. It is very, very painful when it goes off. In this case, it is ready to go. It's in my hand, or my hand is on it in my pocket. Always have your force enhancer device right at your fingertips. Now, obviously, if you're carrying a firearm, I don't suggest that you necessarily have your hand on it. If you're wearing a coat, perhaps I wear a trench coat. When I leave my car, I make sure, before I get out, I make sure the button where I would slide my hand in to retrieve my weapon, that area is clear and I have a clear and quick path to retrieve that defense device. It's not going to do you any good once somebody comes upon you. Let's say they're between cars. What are you talking? 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and they've got you. If you have your hand on that, I mean, you're talking just half a second to pull the pin on the siren, which obviously alerts everyone in the area. And again, it's piercing, it hurts your ears. More than likely, they would run. That's how it hurts. Okay, let's advance. Okay, so I look all around me, and then I go ahead and proceed. And just keeping an eye out. Don't be talking on your phone. Okay, again, the phone thing comes in. If you're on the phone, if you're texting or messing around, then they're going to see that and they say, she's not paying attention. This is my time to pounce. Okay, now I did mention in this segment that if you are alone and let's say you're elderly, you're handicapped, or you're female, it's dark, there is nothing wrong with you asking for assistance to your car from somebody that is employed there if you feel afraid. Like in those places? Yeah, these places, people will stand behind those and then surprise you. Don't end up being surprised. Just look both ways. Make sure you check these hidden spaces. And have your hands on your force enhancing device. Again, it's no good if you don't have it ready. Probably a better scenario is not to produce your keys if you have a fob. Go ahead and just unlock the doors. But again, that is also a cue, or can be a cue, to someone wanting to assault you, that you're going to be occupied with your doors and storing your purchases. If at all possible, keep your head out of your vehicle. Now, if you have small children, I know you got to put them in the safety seat and you're going to have to go in. Again, it's a hard one. You still might be able to keep your head on a swivel while you're doing these things. I suppose if I saw somebody coming up on me from behind while I was trying to put my baby in the car seat, I would probably jump between the front and the bench of the back seat and try to slam the door and get it locked. Yet again, if you have your force enhancer device, then stand up and bring it out if you see someone coming. I'm not saying brandish a firearm or brandish anything in their face, but if you see someone coming your way while you're occupied and you're not sure what they're up to, make sure that it is ready. Let me go to the garage coming home. There's a few things I want to add to that. If you ever arrive home and you see that something is not quite right, like let's say that front door is ajar. I could have left it open, certainly. Obviously we've got snow there, so I mean we could look for footprints. As far as I know, I did not go out that door, so if there's any footprints in the front yard, you know, you might raise a red flag. You say, well, there's no cars around. Well, people can drive, drop people off, be standing over there, see the big barn. Somebody could be standing in a car over there looking and waiting for people to come out. They might be in there ransacking your house. I know that's far-fetched, but it does happen. So my door's not ajar. I don't see anything out of place. I came in the back way. Everything looked right. I have 6 dogs at my house, so I don't think it's going to be necessarily a problem. We'll get into other things about your home security. So I enter the garage. Most garage doors have the safety sensors. All right, now the safety sensors, we're all pretty much familiar with those, that if like a small child or an animal would go under the door while it's closing, it would automatically kick the door up. If you would pull in there and you start to close the door and for some reason it goes back up, I would put my car in reverse, make sure your doors are still locked, put your hand on your defense device, and I would back out the car just to check to see if anybody went in while you were trying to close the door. Obviously, if there's someone there, then you know to call the police. Once you get into the garage, remain in your car. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the door down. Okay, now stay in your car till the door is completely down. And make sure that it is locked. If you know you live in an area where assaults are common, be sure to take these precautions. All right, I can't think of anything else I want to add. Obviously, you can message me with any wisdom that you might have. But once that door's down, you can consider yourself pretty well safe.